What it do, baby? What's good, guys? Welcome back to episode number 32. Today, we're going to be reviewing the Eastern Conference Finals Game 7s. These were absolutely crazy games. I know Johnny can speak to that.
Yeah.
A couple upsets on his side. But,
Some big
for me,
upsets.
it was smooth sailing. I knew we were going to get it done, but we moved. So let's start off with the Bucks versus Nets. Let's talk about that series.
Yeah, I just want to, shout out to Dav because I think he guessed both, Bucks in
I
7
did.
and Hawks in 7. So, that's actually some great predicting there.
Appreciate that, bro.
I think for the record, I need to like formally apologize to Dav too for all the Milwaukee slander. At the end of the day, Giannis still has no bag. I'll still defend that.
Whoa.
He doesn't have a bag, but I was wrong about the Bucks. I thought they were gonna get swept after game 2. I thought it was over. We had some unfortunate injuries too. Joe Harris, obviously, but at the end of the day, the Bucks won. They somehow pulled it off. So yeah, as a Bucks fan too, yeah. So I was actually really cheesed that the Bucks won. I don't want to see.
I know. Don't worry.
Go any further, but yeah.
I decided to take the higher road on this one. So I appreciate that respect. I'm gonna have to refute that Giannis does have a bag, as seen by this series. No bag Giannis averaged 32 points per game and 6 assists. So if that's what no bag gets you, then I'm all in because that's crazy.
Well, you're gonna have to stay on because even if he averaged 50 points a game, he still has no bag.
Stop it. Get some help.
Playing the same way he is. At the end of the day,
he
can be as dominant as he can, but anyone, as James Harden said it best, anyone can run and dunk at 7 feet tall. You don't need skill.
I can name at least 20 players in this league that are 7 feet tall and can't do what Giannis does, but that's besides the point.
That's just his athletic profile, though.
All right, but let's talk about this series. What went down? So the Bucks won 115, 111, and I think that there was at least 20 changes in the game, like of score changes with the leader, and the score was tied for as long as I believe half the game in terms of time. That's how close this game was. The whole game 7. It ended in an OT thriller, with KD missing the dagger shot to put the game away. He airballed that last shot. You could see the fatigue got to him, but I'm tipping my hat off to KD. He's the best player in the world. There's no way around it. KD, Kevin Durant, easy money sniper is the best player in the world. And like this series, even though I had to hate on him for the whole series, now that it's done, I can take a step back and reflect on what happened and know that this man is special. And I'm starting to switch my views towards him as being the greatest scorer of all time ahead of MJ. So,
wow.
Yeah, he's had that kind of series.
Yeah, I think too, especially like coming back from his Achilles, like this is arguably the best Kevin Durant, we've ever seen.
Definitely.
And that's 2 years after, coming off a potential career-ending injury as well. So yeah, like he was nuts. Like he was literally just carrying the team, especially with like the lackluster play of a lot of the role players, not stepping up, especially with Kyrie out. He went down in game 4. Mm-hmm. James Harden, got injured 20 seconds into game 1. But yeah, I know I kind of, like you said, with kind of respecting him, I always thought he was like super soft. And basically up until he went to Golden State, after that point, I thought he was like, I just didn't respect him. I have some negative things. I'm not going to say them out loud. but yeah, now I kind of like, he's definitely like earned some respect back from me.
So for sure. Yeah. Definitely. And like just like to kind of put that into perspective, the man averaged 48 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists in 53 minutes in the final game.
Yeah.
That is absurd. Talk about carrying a team on your back. James Harden.
What do you guys say about James Harden?
James Harden, I have to respect him for being a warrior, for showing up in game 5 to 7, playing on a sore hamstring.
Yeah.
But it makes me question the extent of this injury, the fact that he decided to join the Tokyo Olympics. So there's a little bit of research to be done there, but nonetheless, James Harden, he provided good value, and I think if anything, if not more than a decoy, he was someone that was on the starting lineup just to bring a sort of sense of calmness. He's the starting point guard. He's going to calm down all the role players. I think he did a good job of that. They had a great turnaround in game 5, and I don't think if he wasn't on the floor, that wouldn't have happened. So I got to give my respect to James Harden there. I do have to come out and say that if it was an evenly matched series where where all 3 starters were healthy the whole time, no, I don't think the Bucks would have won. I don't think it would have been a sweep either. I think it would have been Nets in 6, but that's the gamble you took when these guys came. That is a gamble. You knew that they're not healthy guys.
That's a gamble everyone takes, though.
But you knew that these guys specifically have their history of not being healthy.
Who? Just Kyrie. Kyrie's a walking
Kyrie
injury.
and Katie. Kyrie and Katie.
Katie, because maybe Katie a bit. That's
so
fair.
2 out of 3 of your stars, you had to take that gamble, and unfortunately, it didn't pay off. The Bucks are headed to the conference finals where they'll face off against the Hawks.
Yeah, but before we move on to the Hawks, that like crazy upset, I just want to say too, Joe Harris, man, like, this is a guy who shot 47.5% from 3. He led the NBA in 3-point field goal percentage this season, and to shoot, I think he shot like 24%.
So yeah,
from 3 that series, man. Like, I love Joe Harris. A lot of people say like I play like Joe Harris. I love him as a player, but like this series, man, like he belongs in China. He belongs for he belongs on the Shanghai.
Where's he getting drafted to? Which team?
The Shanghai Sharks. We ran a poll whether the Shanghai Sharks or the Guangdong Tigers are a better fit for him. So I think people said Shanghai. He's gonna be joining Ben Simmons. A lot of other players.
Kristaps Porzingis, Dennis Schroeder. That's a super team. They're gonna be playing like Shaq and Kobe down there.
Yeah, and also too, just with James Harden, like he still played 53 minutes. I think he's playing only at 60%. I don't agree with his
80%, 80-90% probably
60%. But anyways, because if you look at his hamstring, like he re-injured the same hamstring that caused him to miss 2 months. When you re-injure an injury, that should be like at least like 6 to 8 month recovery time.
6 to 8 months?
Yeah, straight up.
Months. Yeah, I don't know about months. It depends on the injury. It depends on the injury, but we're not getting into that too much. But yeah. Like I was saying, James Harden, hell of a warrior for stepping up and trying to provide for his team when Kyrie went down. Just didn't pay off in the end. And then even bigger props to KD for being the dog that he is and just giving us a show. Like that's what he gave us. This is entertainment at its peak. And just a quick thing before I move on, me and Johnny were talking about this. Guys, like, I don't know about anyone else, but Bucks in or Bucks out, this has been one of the most entertaining playoffs runs in the past, 5 years probably. Ever since that LeBron run when the Cavs beat with the Warriors, like this is the best playoff run we've had. So, just stick around, enjoy the entertainment, have some fun, and even if your team's out, just support it. Let's have some fun. Have fun with it, like the great Kawhi Leonard said.
Yeah, talk about like epic runs, moving on to the other Eastern Conference semifinal and the Hawks and 76ers, went to 7 games. Somehow, some way, Atlanta came into town, upset the 76ers. Joel Embiid posted like a Instagram post and tweeted as well. He said how he like was sorry to all the Philly fans, gave everything he had and was in fact playing on a torn meniscus. We talked about it. It's probably like a partial tear because, as you know, if he was like fully torn meniscus, he'd be able to walk and stuff. And even game 1, I remember like there was like questions whether he was going to play, and he dropped like 35, 36.
Yeah,
and he looked fine out there.
I know.
So yeah,
no. Just about that series, real quick. I know you said it once, but for me, it was no surprise. It was no shock. Like I knew the Hawks were going to win this one.
Yeah.
Ever since that game 1, we talked about it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, bro. Ever since that game 1, I saw Trae Young be the absolute superstar that he is. Let's not get that wrong right here. Not even voted as an all-star this year, and the man ended up being a superstar in the playoffs. So, big credit to Trae Young for this series.
Yeah. Well, obviously, some superstars showed up, some didn't. And, one of those was Ben Simmons, who was a hot piece of trash. That guy was garbage.
Nothing else to say.
He was garbage. As you guys know, we're big Stat Muse guys on Twitters. If you guys haven't heard of their page, go follow them. They post pretty much stats about everything and a lot of NBA content. One thing they tweeted was that a fan shot more, so someone threw a water bottle on the court, than Simmons did in the fourth quarter of the last 4 games. So he had 0. He didn't shoot the ball once in the fourth quarter of games 4 through 7, which is nuts. Especially
Stat Muse is violating Ben Simmons on Twitter. Anyone that doesn't have Twitter, like you're missing out.
Yeah,
the app is literally free. Like go buy it and just follow Stat Muse if anything else because it's jokes. That's all to say about that.
Yeah, and also he's posted the lowest free throw percentage in a single NBA playoffs in NBA history at 34.2%, which is atrocious. In our group chat today, we were talking about Ben Simmons. Apparently, there was a report that he's interested in shooting with his other hand, and I think he's not going to play for Australia at the Tokyo Olympics. He said he wants to focus on skill development. This summer as well, but yeah, if he switches shooting hands, it's going to be over for him. Same as Markelle Fultz, it's just gonna screw him up even more.
Yeah, quickly you.
No, I was gonna say at the end of the day, if you can't shoot, you can't shoot. That guy just won't be able to. He just can't shoot. So, no matter what he does, it's at this point it's all mental. And if he can't fix the mentality, because he could shoot in high school if you watch his mixtapes. But at the end of the day, if you're at the end of the day, no matter how much they try to fix his shot, he just doesn't have it in him to shoot at the end of the day.
No, I agree 100% with that. Changing your hand it's not going to create magic, unfortunately, Ben Simmons. You have to just get in the goddamn lab and work on your shot. That's all there is about that. But we can't blame all this on Ben Simmons, because they do have a coach that is notoriously known for choking. And we actually have some stats. Doc Rivers, who is the new head coach, if you didn't know, he just got appointed to the Shanghai Sharks. And so Doc Rivers is the head coach of the Shanghai Sharks. And this is not his first time losing in a 7-game series. Not his second, not his third, not his fourth, fifth, or sixth, or seventh. It is his 9th time losing in a Game 7 series.
Wow.
That is unreal. When you told me that, I actually couldn't believe it. 9 times. You know how often Game 7s come around? And to lose 9 times in a Game 7 series? Wow. That is embarrassing. Him and Bud, for me, it's a flip of the coin for who's worse.
I was gonna say, who do you think? I was just about to ask you, who do you think is a worse coach between the two of them?
We talked about it. I think it's got to be Bud. Bud is just atrocious in the playoffs. The only reason why we won is because Giannis is the GOAT and he carried us to the conference finals. But Doc Rivers is probably, like you said, a better coach, but he just chokes more, and I definitely agree with that. But yeah. Both of them are just garbage. I wouldn't want either of them on a championship contending team, to say the least.
I was going to say, too, with Doc Rivers, I think obviously everyone saw him choke with the Clippers last year against the Nuggets. Even before he had the clip before Kawhi and PG came, he had the Lob City Clippers. And that was honestly probably my favorite NBA team growing up to watch, with Chris Paul, DeAndre Jordan, Blake Griffin.
Good team.
And those guys, they choked so many second-round leads. That team never advanced to a conference finals. They had so many opportunities.
That's unreal to think about.
Where they were up 3-1, 3-2 in the second round, and every year they choked. It just never happened. So I think that's one of the biggest what ifs. If that team, made a conference finals and finals appearance, Chris Paul would have a ring. And that team was legendary. Overall, Jamal Crawford was 6-man. JJ Redick too. But that was an amazing team to watch. One of the most funnest teams. I don't know if funnest is a word, but one of the most fun teams to watch.
We'll let that slide. We'll let that one slide. No, for sure. I back that 100% what you're saying there. That's definitely true. And, we'll just talk about these Hawks players because, Trae Young didn't have the greatest Game 7. He's been a superstar all this series, but even superstars can have that kryptonite sometimes. And Game 7, unfortunately, was his. But as I was saying, I talked about this earlier in a couple episodes before, next man up for this Hawks team. A bunch of hungry, gritty players that want to win. You can tell with this team that they want to win, and that's exactly what they proved. Kevin Huerter stepped up. Danilo Gallinari stepped up. Shout out to the Italians right there. Quick Italian connection. Even that stupid thing he's got going down his head right now, atrocious.
The frohawk?
Yeah.
I don't even know what you call that.
It's the shit stripe. It's a shit stripe going down his head. But and then the last guy, Lou Williams. Spicy Lou, all of them stepped up. They had great games, and they were the reason why they won. All the role players stepped up, and they won this game. So shout out to them. Shout out to this young, hungry Hawks team, and I'm excited to play against them as a Bucks fan.
Yeah, I was gonna say too. Talking about the Hawks role players, I think in Atlanta they did a great job this year of surrounding Trae Young with shooters. If you watch them play, they're lethal from the 3-point line.
Definitely.
One interesting stat I heard it during Game 1 of the broadcast, and I checked it up on Basketball Reference as well to confirm. But so the Hawks had 9 players that averaged double figures during the regular season this year.
Unreal.
9. So 9. You
Unreal.
have 9 players scoring above 10 points a game, which is
Yeah. You
crazy.
know,
Talk
10
about,
points
like,
might not
depth.
seem a lot to casuals, but like having 9 players, that's 90 points. Just so
Yeah.
you know, 9 players, 90 points. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah. And I think too, I don't know if it's where, because obviously like with, you can't play 9 guys heavy minutes. Like 9 guys aren't going to
Yeah.
score like that every game, but I think
Yeah.
it balanced out where, like, for example, like 1 or 2 of them could go off. Like all their role players are capable of going off
Definitely.
on any given night, as we saw Kevin Herter. You know, I think he went for the 29. In game 7, you know, definitely was a big piece in their win. So yeah, I think kind of like if some go off and then like they'll have the bad game too, like single digits, like say like 4 or 6 points eventually. So everything like kind of balances out in the end. But yeah, definitely a super impressive stat there.
Yeah. And, you know, kind of to wrap this up, now we got who we got coming up now. We got the Bucks versus the Hawks in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
You know, it's one team with a coach that is very stubborn at defending the 3-point line, much more paint oriented. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two one juggernaut and one,
Who you
I guess,
calling
juggernaut.
Hold on. Who are you calling juggernaut?
The Bucks are a juggernaut. Let's
The
not
Bucks
get
are
this.
not a juggernaut.
Don't start.
What do you
Don't
mean?
start with me. Don't start.
Who are you
The Bucks
calling a juggernaut?
Don't start. With me.
Juggernaut?
The Bucks are juggernaut. And
I
against
don't like
the
that.
underdogs and the Hawks, I think the series is like a minus 500, like in the betting odds, LA betting odds for the Bucks. So it should be a good. What is your prediction though? What is the scoreline going to be or series?
Like I'm not gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. After seeing Giannis like play, I do not want that guy to win. I want him to go ringless for his career.
Wow.
I do not want to see him win a ring.
That's
If he wins, if the
that
Bucks,
is just hard.
especially this year, because this year, you know, it's like a cakewalk. You know, people say
Oh
last year was
my god.
this year has been a cakewalk. Look at all the superstars being injured. You know, this
Wow.
year, this year is like one of the easiest years ever to win a
for
chip
sure.
in NBA
For sure.
history.
Yeah.
100%.
Whenever you know
Like,
what, whenever
you
it
guys-
makes you sleep at night.
you
It's
guys
just
have the
ironic.
Hawks
It
in
is
the
ironic
finals.
coming
You
from
guys
a
have the
Raptors
Hawks.
fan. It is ironic coming from a
Why?
Raptors fan to
We
talk
earned
about
our
injuries.
chip. We earned our chip.
You didn't earn shit,
We earned our
man.
chip, bro.
You went out
I'm
against
just saying-
the LA, what is it called? The Santa Cruz Warriors. So don't give me none of this.
Steph Curry.
Don't
Draymond
just
Green
give me your
and Clay was
prediction
not
and let's
that.
wrap this video up. Give me your
Look,
damn prediction.
I'm saying Hawks in 7.
Oh my
If the
god.
Bucks
All right,
win,
now
I
that
would
you're
be
done joking.
pissed. I'm going to be so pissed off.
All right, now that you're done joking. Now that you're done
Hawks in
joking. What?
7. The Hawks.
No. Now that you're done joking, what's your actual
The
prediction?
Hawks in 7. I'm gonna
Oh
will
my
that.
god.
I'm gonna will that
All
to
right.
existence.
I'm gonna stay cautious. Actually, no. Bucks and 6 is cursed. Ever since Brandon Jennings said that in one game, it's been cursed. I think it was against the Raptors. Actually, we lost against them before the conference finals. So I'm never saying Bucks and 6 again. Bucks and 5.
Bucks in 5.
Bucks and 5.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm honestly not gonna be surprised if that happens.
It's gonna
you guys
happen.
have an easy opponent.
But then why'd you say Bucks?
Easy.
Then why are you saying Hawks and
Because
7?
I want
if
the
they're
Hawks
easy?
to win. Like I just
Oh
can't.
my
I can't
God.
be out here saying the Bucks are gonna win.
My God.
Even though I honestly think it's gonna happen. I thought Philly would have dealt with you guys probably.
They wouldn't have.
5
They couldn't even take
games.
out the Hawks. They couldn't even take out the Hawks.
Well,
Anyways,
just
let's
they
wrap it
choked,
up right
man.
there. Let's wrap it up right there.
Yeah.
So me,
So,
Bucks and 5. You, Hawks and 7. Guys, leave us your comments.
Yeah.
What do you think is gonna happen?
yeah, let us know below. So yeah, that wraps it up, guys. We just wanted to, get on here, record some of our reactions. 'Cause of some crazy games. Both series with the 7 games. You don't see
Unreal.
that happen a lot. Don't forget to stay following our socials. Instagram at Eurosteppers Pod. Twitter at Eurosteppers Pod. It's down in the description below.
Yep.
Stay tuned. We're posting daily content, daily questions of the days, and polls on Twitter, on IG stories, and stay tuned for more playoff content. We
For
got
sure.
the finals coming up. Anyone following Dav on Twitter, you're gonna see a lot of Bucks
Oh,
tweets.
you better stay tuned in. You better stay
I'm not
tuned
gonna lie.
in.
All on my whole Twitter timeline, all I see is likes of Davide BP this Bucks tweets and stuff.
You already know, bro.
Right
I'm
then, so yeah, you'll
tuned
see
in.
it.
You all better get tuned in.
Yeah,
It's
so,
playoff time, baby.
Yeah, so Dav's obviously fired up. I want Phoenix to win, so hopefully that. But we'll see what happens in the next 2 weeks. Stay tuned, and we will continue talking about this. So we will see you guys next Monday.
All right, guys. Easy.